In this video we'll show you how we can create the machining program for this nameplate. So I've started the CAD system and I've imported the DXF file. So what I need to do now is to create some contours. So if I use the NC button here and then choose the outside shape. Now one thing that you might like to do is change the line thickness. This won't affect the machining at all, but it will show us more clearly on the screen when the contours have been created. If it's a very thin line, you won't know that it's been created because it will look just like the line underneath. Okay, so select all the depths and things that you want. So with that thicker line type, you can see that the contour's been created. So now we just simply go around and do the others. Okay, so there we are, and we'll do this one here as well. Okay, so we'll save that file away. And we'll take that into machining. Okay, check on our tool change position, clearance plane, feed change plane, etc. Define the tool. Let's have, say, 0.25 and select that tool for use, and then do an area clear. So if we use the outside shape is that one, and then the islands, we can either choose them individually from the list here, hold down the control key to select multiple items, or we can use the select button here. So if we just click and drag around that area, then that will be populated with the islands, and then we click OK. So that's now calculating the tool path. Going to the status panel here, we can see that that's done that. Okay, so if a contour is not entirely enclosed within the area, then it won't be included, but we can simply add that in. So if we go back into here and then just make sure that the area is big enough to take those in. Okay, so now that's rerun that. Okay, so that style is contour style, so it starts off at the outside and then gets progressively smaller until it encounters the islands, and then it takes on the shape of the island. As an alternative to that, if we double click the area clear and go to options, we can use bi-directional machining. This is also where we set the tool overlap or the swathe, and then we run it again, and you'll notice that executes a lot quicker. Okay, so that's created that so far, but obviously there's more to do. So if we do this, if we save the NC program away and then we close down the CAM system, it takes us back into the CAD. So now we can add more contours onto the drawing. So we go to the NC, and here we could have this contour, and we could call it D in for internal. And there's another one here, we could call that A internal, and so on. So we can name the contours so that they make sense to us when we are choosing them within the CAM system. Okay, so we just save that away, back into machining, and because we've saved away the previous machining program, and it will reload that but it knows that the geometry has been modified. So if we say yes to reloading the new geometry, now we have the existing toolpath as it was, but we also have now these extra 2 contours here, so we can do a little area clear option on each one of those. If the tool is too big to fit in there, then we'd obviously need to define a smaller tool and select that tool for use before we can use the and we can do the same thing now on this one here. Okay, so you can see how you can start to build up the program, but when you're going backwards and forwards between the CAD and the CAM, it's important to save the file away and then exit from the CAM. Then it takes you back into the CAD and you can continue adding on contours as you need them.